So as I was touring some of your islands live on stream, it hit me just how many crazy new items were introduced to Animal Crossing New Horizons with the huge 2.0 update. With such a large variety of new items in the game, many of these actually have their own really cool hidden features and mini details that you probably don't know about yet. So we're going to be taking a look at some of these within this video. The first item on this list is the Nook Ink Yoga Mat, which you can actually get by doing group stretching. Now this item might seem pretty inconsequential to most, in fact I haven't even really seen it displayed on most people's islands, but this does have a really cool and unique feature. This little mat can actually be displayed outdoors, making it one of the only outdoor rugs that you can really get in the game. It's no secret that players have desperately wanted to have outdoor rugs, and although this isn't quite that feature as it's its own separate item, it is still really cool to me that it basically functions in this way. It's a completely flat item, which does make you wonder why Nintendo decided not to let us have outdoor rugs. This is a really cool little feature and detail that I didn't know about until very recently. It's the fact that you can actually put small items on top of the castle tower, which is definitely really cool. There's a lot of tall items in the game, but I feel like with a lot of them you just can't do this, so I was definitely surprised to learn that you could do it with the castle item. It's definitely one of the best new items that they introduced in the game as well, so the fact that it has its own little sort of hidden feature is really cool to me, and this isn't the only new item that you can actually do this with. Another is the ruined pillar item that you can get. You can do this with the tall one that is still fully intact, but of course you cannot do it with the one that is kind of broken in half. I really like the fact that you can do this with these items. There's so many cool little things that you could put on top of them to make your island feel even cooler and more elaborate with all kinds of different combinations and such. So definitely go out there and try that with these items because it's a really fun little thing that you can do. This next item feature is very sneaky but super cool. It's the fact that you can hide within the pergolas or gazebos to protect yourself from wasps. Sadly, I couldn't get any wasps to come and attack me to demonstrate this for you. It feels like any time that I don't want wasps to appear, they're everywhere, but when I do want them for a video, they won't for some reason, which is annoying. But either way, you'll just have to take my word for it. If you want to hide from them, you can go into one of these items and then prepare yourself a bit better. Maybe you could get your net out and start to catch them. They won't be able to come through the confines of this when you stand in the middle, so it's just a neat little trick which maybe could help you get the wasps a bit better if you are struggling to catch them. Not to mention that no one likes being stung by wasps anyways, so getting in here is definitely a really smart idea if you do have these around your island, and you definitely should because honestly the pergolas and gazebos are really amazing. And I'm super happy that they were introduced in the 2.0 update because I feel like they're some of the best items in the entire game. This next feature is maybe a little bit more known, but I still want to mention it because it's such a cool one. It's the fact that you actually can display gyroids on your walls. They get their own little shelf, which is definitely cool, but an even cool feature related to this is the fact that you can move them around to merge them with other items. For example, I can move my Brustoid to be in the pet bed, and I find this super hilarious. It's such a silly thing, but there are so many different items that you can basically merge your gyroids into. It's not a glitch, it's just a visual kind of issue, I guess, in the game. There was probably no other way around this. And it's definitely not something Nintendo is going to patch because they've released loads of bug fix updates since we've seen this. I just like it. It's a neat little detail, and the fact that you actually can put your gyros on the wall to display them as well is really cool, and potentially you could make some really neat displays doing this as well if you want to show off all your gyroids in some kind of trophy room or something. Personally, I definitely think the Brustoid is the best one to do this with though because it looks like a baby Brewster. Come on, it's absolutely adorable. This is a really small one, but it's something that I actually didn't know about, and I feel like a lot of people still don't know about this either. It's the fact that you can actually take a seat down on the park fountain item, which of course you can get by redeeming your Nook Miles at resident services. Now, I think the reason why a lot of people didn't feel like you could do this is the fact that you can't sit down on the other fountain item in the game, which has been in there for much longer and is probably a lot more well known than this newer park fountain item. But yes, you and your island residents can take a seat on the park fountain, which effectively makes it another sort of bench item. Now there is only room for one character to sit down on this, so if you're expecting your villagers to come and sit together or you want to sit with them, sadly that isn't something that you will be able to do. But I just really like the fact that it has an extra sort of added little feature, aside from the fact that it is just a really cool fountain and item in general, and definitely one of the better ones that you can redeem from resident services as well. A more obscure item that I literally never see anyone use, aside from maybe in sort of spacey builds, is the science pod, and a cool little detail is that you can actually put items within it so that they will sort of float around in there. Of course, you can only do this with some of these smaller items in the game. You won't be allowed to do this with anything that is much bigger, but I just find it really funny that you can sort of suspend items in there in this sort of creepy science pod. I can't see many people being able to use this as a sort of outdoor item on their islands unless they've got some sort of space lab outdoors or something like that, but there's definitely lots of indoor builds that you could use this science pod in, and the fact that you can put items within it is really cool to me, and you could definitely come up with some really neat ideas like weird alien experiments or something like that. However, it does have to be said that some of the best features related to these items are shown off in Happy in Paradise when you can actually see your villagers interact with them. Now sadly, this isn't something that they will really do back on your own island. For some reason, this seems to be locked to Happy in Paradise, I guess to add in a sort of more exclusive and special feature for the DLC to make it even more appealing. But as you can see here, you've got Marshall playing with a cat tower, which of course isn't a new item, but this is really the first and only time that we can actually see these villagers interacting with these item features in this way. I'm personally really sad that our villagers don't seem to do this on our own island. It does make sense, like I said, that they would have more features on Happy in Paradise just to make it seem more appealing to players who want to purchase it, especially since it is basically all based around decorating and such. But I don't know, I would have liked to have seen some of these cool interactions on my own island with some of these items, and I'm sure there are a ton more that I don't know about yet. So definitely let me know in the comment section down below what sort of neat little item features and details you've noticed in Animal Crossing New Horizons, and what interactions are your favorite. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on those channel notifications. If you made it to the end of this video, then be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. I want to say thank you to these channel members for supporting me and the content that I make here. Their contributions allow me to keep making videos. If you want to support these videos and get some great perks for doing so, like access to our members only Discord, exclusive Bob emojis and live streams and much more, then click the join button down below the video or the link in the description.